Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode
How
of
many
the
O's was that?
hashtag TFR
Motivation
Monday
Monday.
Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy
Hi,
Nettles.
guys.
There was about 5 O's in that, I think. But welcome back, everybody. We are so excited. We are going to talk about, and as I shared in the announcement and in the email, the topic today is for me. That's how I really try, and Marcy and I both, we really try to teach things that were either aha moments for us or things that we struggle with, that we learn through, that we could share with you guys and hopefully find value in it. And this is one that fits into that category, because this is something that has really been, I want to even say, plaguing me for quite some time. Distraction and squirrel moments and being efficient or productive. And there's been a lot of resources that I've been utilizing recently to try to figure out how to get on top of this. And some of the stuff that I've learned, I want to now, Marcy and I want to share it back with you, because I realize that I'm not the only one that struggles with inconsistency, that struggles with the ability to stay focused on something to completion rather than just, because a lot of us are great beginners, but we're not good finishers. And that is definitely me. And so we're going to share this information with you guys on how to utilize some of the techniques that we've learned and implement them into helping you with focus, productivity, and results.
Okay, so I want to say hello to Marjorie first. She's in the Philippines right now, waiting to get on her plane to get back to the United States. So travel safe, saying prayers for you.
Yes.
But I want to also add into that opening there that Dondi just gave, that it's not just people that know that they have problems with distractions and staying focused. It's those of us that think that we're really good at multitasking and can do so many different things all at one time, that really need to hear this information too, because this is actually information that's true for all of us.
Yeah.
Whether you are aware that you have a problem focusing and staying true to the end, or whether you think that you've got everything handled, you're truly distracted and not focused. So make sure that you are here on Monday nights every week, or if you cannot be, or you want to listen to it again or share it with team members or share it with anybody. These calls are always recorded and we put them up on the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. You can go there and subscribe. You can hit that bell to get notifications and just be notified every time we upload new content. So let's get moving here, because we've got a lot of call today.
And something I want to share right here on this slide is trying to understand the difference between when you know that you know something, you have what is called conscious competence. And when you don't know that you know something, it may be unconscious competence. Or when you don't know something, it's conscious incompetence. And then there's the other thing, is when you don't know what you don't know, it's unconscious incompetence. And this kind of situation unfortunately spans all 4 of those spectrums. It's when you start your LifeVantage business, or you start to just take any task. You start reading a book, you start building a house, you start writing a book, you start painting your fence, you start a LifeVantage business. The things that we start, oftentimes we don't finish because we get distracted, we get frustrated, we get stagnant. And so we don't end up achieving our goal, in this case, in a LifeVantage business, your desired rank or your desired pay scale or your desired influence, or just being around a great group of people. Whatever your reason for starting your LifeVantage business, if you have not yet achieved that, then it might be because you need to break the cycle of being distracted or losing focus or starting something else that takes away your time, motivation, or energy away from what you could be doing.
Yeah, sometimes we classify them as being the shiny thing or squirrel moments.
Yeah.
Those are all the things that Dondi's talking about.
We have very little squirrels in Arizona, but I get squirrel moments.
There's a
all the
lot
time.
of moments.
And that's one of the things that we're sharing. That was my main reason for focusing on this, which we're now going to share with you. So there's basically 3 areas of focus that will help you stay focused. One is, what is your intention? In other words, why are you doing this? Why did you start your LifeVantage business? What was it that caught your attention that made you say, you know what, this is what I want to do? And the next is, who are you leveraging? Who is going to win, or if you are sick, or who is going to win when you are successful with your LifeVantage business, or who is going to lose if you are not? Another way of looking at it, leveraging. Who are you leveraging? And the last is, how am I committed? How will I show up to this? Am I bringing my A game? Am I coming distracted? Am I coming downtrodden and beat up and emotionally down? Those all will have an impact on whether you stay focused, and if you stay focused, whether or not you complete the task that you set out whenever you first joined LifeVantage. So these are going to be the 3 areas we're going to talk about tonight. First is your intention. And I love Dr. Wayne Dyer's work, and he actually has a wonderful book called The Power of Intention. But when you're talking about intention, what is intention? It's our thoughts and our thoughts lead to our actions. Our actions create our experiences. Our experiences define our character. And in each moment, we define who we will become. So start this moment with intention. Now, some of you might not know what the meaning of an intention is, or having an intended spirit, or being committed to your intention. So our intention literally creates our reality. So says Dr. Wayne Dyer there. So for you, why are you doing this, and what is your intention? So I'm going to give you guys some facts. First of all, fact. The first fact is our willpower is 100% temporary. How do we know this? Every January 1st, all kinds of people join gyms to lose weight, get in shape, get healthy, whatever, gain more muscle, whatever their goal is. But willpower runs out very, very, very quickly if there's not results and if you lose focus. But a lot of that comes down to, a lot of it comes down to our self-control, because our self-control is weak. That's why our willpower is temporary, because if our self-control was powerful and unwavering, our willpower we would always be successful. Unfortunately, we don't. And that's understanding these things is very difficult to come to grips with. And we oftentimes try to resist it. We just can't seem to control our willpower. We can't seem to be able to dictate and navigate or direct our self-control enough to make it strong.
And
it's weak.
We're talking about our LifeVantage business, right? But this information actually pertains to every aspect of your life. Anywhere that you are not exactly where you want to be, this pertains. So it could be in your relationships. It could be in your religion, in your belief in how you feel about a higher power. This could be your personal, physical, let's just say whether or not you're a good representative of a health and wellness company, right? Yeah. All of this has to do with your willpower and self-control. These are true facts.
Like when there's ice cream in the house and it's readily accessible in the freezer in your kitchen, and you say, nope, not going to go there.
Or you say, would you want a little bit? And then you eat that little bit and it's like, do you want a little bit more? And then you're like, should we just finish this? Because if we finish it, the temptation's not there anymore.
Right. We've been victimized.
We've done that
all of those things. And we've also maintained self-control. Yes. So in the whole thing about intention, and when you're dealing with your lack of self-control, when you're dealing with your temporary willpower, what should you do? What should we all do? And the key is just figure out what your intention is. So how do you do that? Well, the easiest way is to narrow your focus. Focus on less things and focus very intently on those things. Try to narrow it down to 3 things, narrowing your focus. And it's easier done than said, but because most people don't know how to do it. Well, it can be very simple. And the easiest way to do it is engaging what is called your RAS, your reticular activating system. It is your built-in awareness. It's actually right at the back of right above your spinal cord, right in the base of your brainstem. It's actually a little bit smaller than your pinky. It runs vertically. It's about 2 inches long, about the size of a pencil, the diameter of a pencil. And it's where all of your senses come into, except your sense of smell. It's where it's all the information that your body is gathering. Get this. This is how different your conscious mind is and your subconscious mind. This is your subconscious mind. We talked last week about your subconscious mind being 95% of the time you're in thought, which means your subconscious mind is at the wheel and is steering your life. And that's all based on your programming. So here's the deal. What does this reticular activating system do? 3 primary things. The first is it controls what we call our circadian rhythms, our sleep and our wake cycles. The next is it deals with and it regulates our focus. our ability to hone in on something, and it also engages our fight or flight mechanism. So our instincts, what we're going to do when we don't have to think about it, because this is subconscious, it's your awareness. So all of your senses other than smell come in through your reticular activating system. Well, how much information are we talking about? In your conscious mind, give the example last week when I was talking about being behind the wheel of a car, and you need to be at a certain location at a certain time to keep an appointment, and you've never been there before. So you're paying attention to the road signs, your speed limit, the cars around you, your watch, and making sure you're paying attention to all these variables. In your conscious mind, you can focus on about 40 things at the same time. 40. Consciously focus on about 40 pieces of information at a time per second. Your subconscious mind, in the same second, can process 11 million pieces of information. Things like your blood pressure, your sodium content in your blood, the oxygen content of your blood, your hormone levels, whether or not your body temperature is the right temperature versus the ambient temperature. And are you sweating if it's too hot? Are you shivering if it's too cold? All of those things. Are your muscles getting enough blood? Do you have enough protein? Do you have enough collagen in your body? Do you have enough mitochondria in your cells to do the things your cells are requiring? Do you have enough communication in your cells because your sirtuins are activated? Those are all things that your subconscious mind, your autopilot is all taking in at the same time, and none of it do you have to think about. You don't have to think about, okay, my heart needs to beat now and now and now. That's all subconscious. 11 million pieces of information per second comes into your reticular activating system, comes into your subconscious mind. So how do you change this? How do you narrow your focus? One, you think about it. You set your goals. You create a vision board. Now, we are very visual. People are visual. They're also auditory, which is why we have things like affirmations or incantations. But when you say, I am successful, I am healthy, I am a great network marketer, if your subconscious mind doesn't believe it, it calls BS on you, because it's harder to reprogram your subconscious mind auditory. It's easier visually. So things like goal sheets, things like vision boards, and we'll get into that here in a second, but how do you engage your reticular activating system, your awareness? I'll show you an example of it right now. Wherever you are, look around the room. Take 10 seconds and look at everything you can see that is blue, the color blue. Take a couple more seconds, look around the room, identify the blue things. Now you are focusing on it. Those were always there, but you probably noticed some things that were blue that you had never noticed before because you weren't looking for blue things. But now in the same amount of time, how many brown things did you see? You might not know because you weren't looking for brown things, but your subconscious mind is always looking for things. But here's women who've ever been to a prom or who've ever been to like a formal dinner where you notice every single woman who's wearing your same dress because you have an awareness of it. Your reticular activating system is focused on it. In fact, great high-end stores that rent prom dresses and engagement dresses and bridesmaid dresses and sell wedding gowns are very conscientious of the fact that we are attuned. Women are more in tune with their reticular activating system than men. You could have, like at a prom, 5 guys or 10 guys wearing the same tux and none of them care. But if you have two women wearing the same dress, they're both pissed because they wanted to be the only one in that dress.
They're staying on the opposite side of the room from each other.
Right. You don't notice all the other dresses. You just notice the one that's like yours, because that's where your awareness is. Your visual cortex, your reticular activating system is focused on something. And as a result, you see it everywhere. Just like the car you're in. When you buy a brand new car, you notice that same car, model and make, even other colors, because you're driving one now. But they were there yesterday, but you weren't aware of them because you weren't driving one. That's the difference. So when you change your reticular activating system, you narrow down your focus and you can do it on command. You just have to decide to do it and decide what it is. So here's another example. of how you engage your reticular activating system. You can say, I hope I can help, but inherent in the word hope is a little bit of doubt, maybe even a lot of doubt. I hope, you say that, I hope, but you're still kind of doubting, meaning your subconscious mind isn't fully on board. It's like, yeah, maybe. Or you could say, you could upgrade I hope and say, I want to help. But it's still, there's some doubt in there. Yeah, you may want to, but will you or will you not? There's doubt intertwined in that. But if you could change that to not hope, not want, but I intend. That is your focus and your desire. Your intention is to help. So you have to just define what is your intention. And once you define it, now your reticular activating system can see it. Now, when you do things like having a vision board, having incantations or affirmations that support what your reticular activating system can now see, it knows what to go after because it's familiar. Like being at a prom, you don't focus on all the other dresses. You just focus on the person who's wearing one just like yours. That's why you have an emotional attachment to it, because it's familiar, but not in a good way. You don't want that to be familiar. These are things where you can have your reticular activating system focus on it in a positive way because it becomes familiar. Then you just repeat it every single day. Because intention is literally everything. Like Marcy said, it spans every aspect of your life. So start here. When you look behind you, who's counting on you the most? Your friends, your family, your children, your spouse, your relatives, your neighbor. Who is cheering for you the most and really wanting you to be successful? Then ask yourself, well, who are you a provider for? Who are you a leader to? And who are you an example for? When you look back behind you, who is counting on you the most? That's where you can narrow your focus and focus on, but making them proud, if that's your intent, or making them see there's what is possible, if that's your intent, leading by example, if that's your intent, providing a different quality of life financially to your family, if that's your intent, or leading with integrity, if that's your intent. But who's counting on you the most? That's where you can help define your intent.
Well, and one thing I would like to add to that is that sometimes the people that are watching us, we don't even necessarily know.
Right.
And so keeping in mind that the example that you are setting, it could be to someone that is looking for the one person that can show them the way that they can get out of the problems that they're in, the one person that can show them how they can break the chains of bondage, of financial difficulty, the one person that might have the information that they have been praying for to be able to help them with their health and wellness. You could be the one. Right. I mean, that is such a big deal, which can I give a shameless plug right now?
Of course.
I'm starting a book club, guys, and it starts this next week. It actually starts this weekend. Okay. And we're going to be reading a book that is amazing. And it talks about being the one that changes everything for your family for generations. You could be the one that that cuts off generational curses. Right. So if you're interested in that, just hit me up, right? So then I can get you the information. But it is so important for us to understand that we don't always know who's watching us, and we don't always know what they're cheering for us to be able to accomplish because they need it too. So just keep in mind that there are people out there that will win when you win, and there are people out there that will definitely lose if you don't do this. And some of them you may not even know yet. Yeah. So you could be making an impact that you're unaware of. Just know that you are absolutely making an impact.
So true. So when it comes down to these things, we have to be conscientious of certain constraints like time management. So when this is how you deal with and how you activate your reticular activating system, how you narrow your focus. Okay, got that. But then it's like, now how do I manage my time? Well, the answer is you don't manage your time. You manage yourself, because you have to figure out how to operate within a short or within a specific amount of time. Everybody has the same 24 hours. Everybody has the same 7-day week. Everybody has the same 365 calendar day year. But some people get more done in 1 week than other people get done in 1 year because they focus on self-management and narrowing their focus and focus on prioritizing, not losing focus, not being distracted, not getting frustrated, and staying on task. Well, the greatest battle of life is not man versus the world. And we know there's a lot of battles we could fight and win in this world right now to make it a better place, but it's man against self. How do we manage ourself? Big challenge. And the most important skill of the 21st century is learning how to control your attention span, to prevent distractions and keep your focus. Think about a light bulb. A light bulb provides light, but a laser is hyper focused. A light bulb can light up a room, but a laser can cut through metal. The difference, same wavelength, it's just different focus and for a different specific amount of time and intensity. So think about this. How do you program it? You got to learn to manage yourself, and you got to learn to keep yourself on task and maintaining your attention span. So how do you do it? You just decide, one, to show up differently than you have previously, with new skills, with new incentive, with new, not hope, not new wants or desires, but with a new intention to go out and become successful, to show the way to the people who are counting on you the most, the people that are cheering you on the most, the people that would gain the most from your success or hurt the most if you don't. It's one of the things we were at a seminar a couple of weeks ago, and this guy was talking about that at the end of his life, when he's going to meet with his Savior, and his Savior is going to say, you see this person, and this person, I gave you the prompting to go talk to them and go share with them what you knew. This is how their life turned out because you didn't. But here's how their life could have turned out if you would have. And when he said that, I got chills, and I'm getting chills again. So we have to decide, one, what is our intention? And and it's okay to have a partial intention today and a more clear one tomorrow and an even more clear one next week, and allow it to evolve. But show up when you have an intention and you know definitively who wins when you win, you're going to show up different. That is, it takes up some focus and some concentration and narrowing that focus down and making your reticular activating mind, your subconscious mind, aware of what that is so that it can go out and gather it for you. Pretty amazing. So note to self, all you have to do is show up. Be late, it's okay. Be scared, it's okay. Be a hot mess, it's okay. Be weird, hello. Be confused, just be there. You'll figure out the rest as you go, but show up.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've realized recently is that I would hesitate because I didn't feel like I was going to do something perfect. Right. It was bred into me from being a small child that I needed to be perfect to get the acceptance that I was desiring. Right.
Guilty.
It was a total performance-based feeling. And I finally have given myself permission to just do it. Allow it to be messy, because if you'll just start, being messy in the beginning will start to get better, and you'll improve, and you'll start to get to a point to where you can be really confident in what you are doing. But if you wait until you're perfect, you will never start. You will never start. You have to give yourself permission to step into the mess.
So here's some tips on how to get super focused, how to narrow your focus, how to trigger and recruit your reticular activating system to be on board with you. First, figure out where your workstation is and clean it up. Get it organized, because trying to find something under a pile of papers or wondering where it is distracting, gets you off purpose. So take the time necessary. If it takes a couple minutes, takes a couple hours, takes all weekend. Get your workspace where you're going to be spending your time clean and organized, and keep your frequently used things close by, so that you don't even have to get up. So you can just reach for it and grab it. So put some thought into this.
One thing I want to say about that, though, is don't have this be a weekly thing. Make sure that you get yourself organized, and then create habits around staying organized, so that you are not wasting your business building time on organizing.
Right. Yep. And then number 2, start each day with a schedule or a to-do list. If you're not a to-do list person, just put things in your calendar. Take your highest priority things, your non-negotiable things, the things that mean the most to you, Put those in your calendar first. And then in the time and nooks and crannies around that, build your LifeVantage business. But have a schedule and a to-do list, because studies show that when you have a written plan, something you can visually see and follow, you're going to be more productive.
And then you also don't lose things. You remember to do everything, and just know that you can have a list of things that you want to put the more difficult things at the top and start there. Because then when you get that done, you feel so confident that you're going to be excited to do the rest of your list. But keep in mind too, give yourself permission that if you make this really long list and you don't get to everything, it just means that you've already started your list for the next day. So just utilize that as a way to move from one day into the next and not lose the things that you need to accomplish.
Yes.
The next one's really good.
Before we get to the next one, disclaimer, I and Marcy by no means have mastered these things, and you're going to see the difference between
We're working
mastery.
on them.
These are the things we struggle with the most, and we can't be alone, which is why we have to remind ourselves to do these things constantly. Number 3, put your phone on silent or do not disturb. If you do put it on do not disturb, remember that you did, and set yourself an alarm to take it off, do not disturb. But this is the kind of thing, could be self-defeating. If you set yourself an alarm, it's going to take your focus. So there has to be some policing here, but set your phone on silent or do not disturb and move it away from you, out of hand reach. In other words, you have to get up to go get it. Why? Because if it vibrates, don't want to put it on vibrate, because if it vibrates, you're going to, oh, what is that? You get a dopamine rush. You want to go check. Did somebody like my post? Did somebody comment? Did somebody send me an email? Did somebody send me a text? And you're instantly distracted. But there is also something called phantom vibration syndrome. It's a real thing. It's when you keep your phone in your pocket, on your purse, in your bra, wherever you keep it, it will actually trick your brain into thinking it's vibrating when it's not, which is a distraction. So it's why you don't want to put your phone on vibrate. Put it on silent or do not disturb, unless it's in your hand and it's when you meant to be on it. Then go ahead and either turn your ringer back on or turn the vibrate on. You just don't want to do it while you're in uptime.
Yeah. And then also make sure that you turn off all the notifications.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes right along with putting it on do not disturb, because the thing is we are so attached to our phones and feeling like we're going to miss something, right? We don't want to miss out. Guess what? You're not going to miss out. You can always catch up. You're going to be fine. You just got to make sure that you're giving yourself the work time to be able to accomplish the things that you want to be focused on without the distractions. So on here, it shows studies show we check our phones 25 to 150 times per day. And I'm pretty sure I'm more on the upwards end of that than the lower end. How about each of you? Yeah. Right? Sometimes it's good for us to take an awareness of that too, and decide whether or not that's healthy for us as well. Scrubbing your email. This is a big one.
I just did this recently.
Yeah. Because
can I tell them why?
Go for it.
I got up to 10,000 unanswered
Holy
emails.
Crap balls. Can you say that?
10,000. Now I had 7 email accounts, and all of them were combined. They were all connected in Google Mail. 10,000 unanswered email. First of all, I went in and I canceled 5 email accounts. I've only got 2 now. So scrub your accounts. And I went in and I had so many things that I had signed up for that are giving me daily reminders that I didn't want, and I hadn't even checked them in months and months and months. Daily reminders for months and months and months. Went in and deleted them all, unsubscribed to them all, got 2 email accounts now instead of 7, and it's dramatically lowered my stress level and my distraction level.
Yeah, you know, I want to make a point of what Darlene just said here on Zoom too. It says in your bra causes tumors.
Yes.
So when we're talking about your phone, not only does it distract you from accomplishing the things that you want to, but putting it further away from you is actually a protection for you too, because it's got so many Wi-Fi, EMFs, all the things that's emitting from your phone can cause cancerous tumors. You're absolutely right there. And so women, do not put your cell phone ever inside of your bra. Do not put it inside of the front pockets. Guys, if you like your manhood, don't put your cell phone anywhere near, right? And that means that we need to have our phones away from us. And that means sleeping too. And that's not what this topic is tonight, but that was a great little, PSA.
Here's something, Darlene, you just proved. I'm a healthcare provider. I talk about avoiding Wi-Fi and 5G and putting your phone in a Faraday bag and don't put your phone in your bra. But I just mentioned it because it's a habit that people do, but I wasn't focused as being a healthcare provider at that time. I was focused on being an educator. And so I said something, and thank you, Darlene, for pointing that out. But that's what I don't have. Sometimes multitasking is a challenge for me. And if you're a guy, you know what that means.
And to prove the point even further, I didn't hear him say that because I was focused on something that somebody had
Right.
said on the Facebook group. And so I didn't catch it either.
Thank
So
you,
thank
Darlene,
you,
for
Darlene.
policing both of us.
Yes, absolutely. So let's get through this. So make sure that you close the curtains or blinds while you work if your workspace has windows. I mean, if it's quiet outside and you're doing something that you don't need super focus, it's beautiful to have a window, right? And it's great to have that window open when you're doing videos. Like we have a window in front of us right now, right? And look at the beautiful lighting, right? But no, seriously, the distractions that come with an open window can really keep you away from your work. So close those windows or blinds.
I don't want to see the Amazon guy or the pool cleaner pull up.
Right. No. So avoid fatigue. And this means eye fatigue. It means leg fatigue. It means that sitting is the new cancer cause. Right. And so make sure that you're getting up every 30 minutes or so and moving, stretching, giving your eyes a break from all the blue light that's coming out of these devices constantly. Use blue blocker glasses, which these I have on almost all the time, but sometimes I have to give myself a break from them too. The blue blockers, and especially use our icy bright, right? Create your own internal blue blockers for your eyeballs. And then reward yourself. Make sure that you give yourself some motivation for accomplishing your work time. When you finish your to-do list, give yourself time to do a few things that you just really enjoy doing. Give yourself that dopamine rush or the celebration of accomplishing the things after you've done your calls, your invites, your follow-ups, posts, comments, that sort of thing. You can give yourself time to watch a reel, time to watch a video,
do some planks,
eat some fruit. Yeah, go for a walk. And maybe some of you like to take power naps, but give yourself time to do those things.
Yep. All right. This is something that it's called the fool's syndrome. People say, yeah, I already know that. Well, it doesn't come down to what you know, it's whether or not you're doing it. And even beyond doing it, have you mastered it? And ultimately, it's beyond whether you've mastered it or not. Do your results show the proof that you've mastered it?
Well, and I want to, the moment that you think you know it all is the moment that you've proven that you know nothing. Yeah. Because there's always something else to learn. So don't ever think that you know it all.
That quote is, it's what you learn after you think you know it all that matters.
Absolutely. So where are we going with this?
Yeah. So if you have not yet, if your results and have not proven that you've mastered these things, then you need to improve upon them. As I don't know anybody who's mastered these. I know everybody needs some level of improvement. Some of us need a lot of it, like me. This right here was 100% for me, but I wanted to share it publicly in case somebody else was suffering from the same kinds of things that I suffer from: distractions and focus, or not having enough focus, or not having the intention, not thinking about who is counting on me the most and what are they going to be like if I don't succeed at this. Yeah. That was new. That was new, but my intention is a whole different category now.
So we know that trying to do everything all at once is more than likely going to become a disappointment for you, right? Because we let ourselves down when we bite off more than we can chew. So in that checklist, pick, 3 things that you want to start working on and start creating habits around those things to be able to help you stay focused, to be able to accomplish all the things that you want to accomplish so that you can show up the way that you want to show up. And then after you've created habits, small mini habits around those 3 things, then pick some more. But just know that the more that we do the work here, the better we're going to be able to make the impact that we want to make on the people that we know and the people that we don't know, the people that we see watching us and the people that we have no clue even know who we are. Right. Because each and every one of us is in that type of position. Whether you believe it or not, you have people watching you that you don't even know yet. So let's get to work.
And people who are.
Yeah.
And that you do know.
Yes.
And that are counting on you.
Yes. Yes.
So make them happy and reach your goals and reach your intentions. Live them out every day. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Love you all. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Stop share here. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being on here with us. We appreciate you. And hey, by the way, if you're not registered for Global Convention yet, we heard some more stuff today on an elite call that we all need to be there. Yeah. We're super stoked, super excited, and we still got just about 2 months to be able to make the plans to make it happen. So let some of your checklist have something to do with figuring out how you can be at Global here in Phoenix in October, because that's where we all need to be. We need to be together so we can hug.
right.
Anybody else missing hugs? I'm ready for more hugs, right? So virtual hug. But we love you guys. And thank you so much for showing up here tonight. And we are excited to see you all again next week. Let us know how we can help you. And by the way, guys, it's the end of the month. We've got just a couple days left. So today and tomorrow. So make sure that your orders are taken care of. Make sure your team's orders are taken care of. And if anybody's close to rank advancing, let's make sure that we help them all get there. Okay.
Final push.
All right. Let's go.
Thanks, everybody. Love you guys.
Have a great
Good
night.
job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you guys. Bye.
You too.